The ultimate news portal for the Philadelphia Phillies is on the air, bringing you everything about Philly's most traditional franchise.
Stay tuned for behind-the-scenes trade rumors and analysis of the big plays because our bulletin starts right now.
The Phillies may have found a kind of international opportunity that can reshape a lineup before anyone in the National League gets a close look at the player involved. Teruaki Sato is preparing for a possible move from the Hanshin Tigers to Major League Baseball, and Philadelphia is reportedly among the teams monitoring him. The timing could be ideal. Alec Bohm is approaching free agency. Bryce Harper's defensive alignment remains flexible, and Sato's best season yet has dramatically increased the stakes of his next decision. Sato has not merely maintained his reputation in 2026. He has raised it. Through 446 plate appearances, the Hanshin slugger is batting .314 with a .399 on-base percentage and a .614 slugging percentage, along with 27 home runs. Those numbers exceed even his 2025 campaign, when he won Central League MVP honors. Across 6 MPB seasons and 3,272 plate appearances, Sato has produced a .270/.337/.510/ line with 151 home runs. His early seasons weigh down the overall numbers, but the recent trajectory tells a different story. Sato has become more dangerous, more polished, and more relevant to MLB clubs searching for impact defense. He is also still young enough to offer a team multiple prime seasons. Sato turns 28 in March, has 4 All-Star selections, won a Japan Series championship with Hanshin in 2023, and represented Japan in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. That is a strong resume before the international bidding even begins. The Mets, Yankees, Phillies, and Dodgers have all been linked to Sato, according to John Heyman. Every one of those organizations has a history of pursuing Japanese talent. But Philadelphia may offer the clearest baseball fit. The biggest variable is third base. Bohm is a free agent this winter, and Sato could potentially step directly into that vacancy. If Philadelphia keeps Harper in right field and moves Bryson Stott back to second base, Sato could give the Phillies a new solution at the hot corner without forcing the rest of the infield into an awkward arrangement. There is also a fallback option. If MLB evaluators decide Sato's defense is unlikely to hold up at third, he could shift to first base or potentially spend time in the outfield. Philadelphia's roster flexibility would make those possibilities easier to explore than they might be elsewhere. The Phillies' interest is also significant because the organization has tried to increase its presence in the Japanese market. Philadelphia made a strong effort to sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto, even though it did not land him. Sato could represent another chance to turn that interest into a major acquisition. The offensive case is easier to understand than the defensive one. Sato won a Gold Glove for his work at third base in 2025, but some scouts believe his defensive skills may not translate cleanly to position in MLB. Heyman reported that evaluators consider him questionable to remain at third, which could push him toward first base. Sato has also received some outfield work with Hanshin, giving teams another possible route to keep his bat in the lineup. For the Phillies, that uncertainty is manageable only because their roster has options. They could sign him expecting third base reps, then adjust if the transition proves too demanding. The danger would be committing major money to a player whose defensive home remains unsettled, while also needing to replace Bohm's production. In other words, Philadelphia is not simply evaluating whether Sato can hit. It is deciding how many defensive compromises are acceptable to get his bat into the lineup. New York's 2 teams and Los Angeles each offer a different path. The Mets could have room at both corner infield positions if Bo Bichette opts out, although that scenario is viewed as unlikely because of his current season. If Bichette remains at third, Sato could take over at first and push Jorge Polanco, Brett Beatty, or Mark Vientos into utility, designated hitter, or roster battle roles. The Yankees already have Ben Rice established at first base. In the Bronx, Sato would likely target third base and potentially replace Ryan McMahon, who is owed $16 million in 2027. New York could trade McMahon or absorb the financial cost of moving on, especially if the club decides his defensive value no longer offsets his limited offensive production. The Dodgers are the most obvious international powerhouse, but their roster maybe the least natural match. Freddie Freeman and Max Muncy occupy the corner infield picture, while Ohtani controls the designated hitter role. Both Freeman and Muncy could become more movable after 2027, making Sato a possible long-term play. But Los Angeles does not have an immediate vacancy that demands his arrival. Sato's opportunity will also be shaped by labor rules rather than baseball alone. Once Hanshin posts him, he would have 45 days to negotiate with an MLB team. If no agreement is reached, he returns to Japan for the following season. The expected market window could open around mid-November, but lockout beginning December 1st would freeze the posting process. That creates a narrow period for Sato to make the biggest professional decision of his career, unless the next collective bargaining agreement changes the procedure. Players posted before the current agreement expires could potentially be protected by the existing rules. Sato may also decide that waiting is worthwhile if his extraordinary 2026 season has strengthened his negotiating position. Philadelphia does not need to chase Sato simply because other large market teams are interested. It should pursue him if the front office believes his bat can replace Bohm's production and remain valuable even if his defensive position changes. That is where the Phillies have an advantage. They can offer a clear path to regular at-bats without needing to displace an established first baseman or designated hitter. They can give Sato a position. Lou at third, a first base alternative and enough lineup protection to prevent pitchers from attacking him as an isolated newcomer. The Dodgers may have the brand. The Yankees may have the history. The Mets may have room. But Philadelphia may have the cleanest baseball answer. If Sato reaches MLB with the same momentum he has built in Hanshin, the Phillies could be looking at more than an international signing. They could be looking at the player who determines what their infield becomes after Bohm.